G'day, I'm Paul. Today I'm going to walk you through a detailed review of the Volkswagen Discover Pro infotainment system plus the Digital Cockpit. If you want to check out some of our other infotainment reviews, you can see that playlist by clicking up there. Otherwise, let's get stuck into it. This is what the home screen looks like. You've got navigation and then a sub-menu for telephone and media. So let's kick things off here with navigation. The screen itself is fast and easy to use. It comes with auto zoom functions as well, which means when you set auto zoom and you're on a freeway, for example, it will zoom out so you can see more of the road. As you approach an intersection, it will zoom in so you can see the roads around you. What you'll notice as well is when my finger approaches the screen, it detects that and then it presents me with sub-menus so I can get a bit more quality out of the screen and not have the menus there all the time until I need them. How quick is navigation input? Let's give this a shot. I'll try type in Melbourne Airport. So I can already see there it's quite fast in terms of processing that. And then we go, it's got the suburbs, and then if I scroll down, points of interest as well. You can also use voice recognition. The button on the steering wheel allows you to make phone calls, enter navigation, address, destinations, and then if you do have your phone connected, it will then allow you to send commands through the phone as well. In terms of smartphone mirroring, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Both of those operate wired, so it's not a wireless system. I'll show you what that looks like. The integration here of Apple CarPlay is quite nice. It's full screen instead of just being a segmented screen, which some other manufacturers do. So you're getting a little bit more screen real estate there, and it looks high resolution. Let's look at the telephone menu. In the telephone menu, once you are connected over Bluetooth, it's going to present you here with the ability to dial. But when you are connected with smartphone mirroring, it refers you to your CarPlay menu or Android Auto, depending on which one you have connected, and you'll see those controls here. In terms of radio, it is a little bit disappointing because there's only FM and AM. You don't get digital radio, but you do get these displays here that show you which station you're listening to. So that is handy. You don't have to take your eyes off the road for too long to pick another radio station. And then if you're sick of the radio, you have the ability to connect to other media, and there are a lot of sources to choose from. Jukebox is the internal storage within the car. You can put in a CD if you're old school. SD card slots as well, USB, Bluetooth audio, auxiliary, and also wireless LAN, so you can connect to other devices wirelessly. I love the vehicle menu. So you have a number of different options to choose from, and while this isn't a four-wheel drive, there is an off-road menu that I think really lends to this car's adventurous sort of image. So this is your active vehicle display. You can select what you want shown here, and when the car's moving, they will appear there. But if we jump over to off-road, have a look at this. It shows you your altitude, your compass direction, and also what your tyres are doing, which direction they're pointing, how much inclination you have in the car. And then the other cool stuff you can do here is convenience consumers. It shows you how much extra energy you're consuming by cranking the air conditioning. This has 3 zones of climate control. So if the kids are putting the air conditioner up or down in the back, it will tell you how much extra fuel you're using. But if you really want to go that one step further, there's the Think Blue trainer. If you click on Think Blue, it actually gives you tips on how to save energy. So take this one, for example, a warm engine, a cool way to save, gives you a description of how you can reduce your fuel consumption by letting the engine warm up. All kind of basic information, but if you're not fully across how to save fuel, you can read through these and then it will give you a score on exactly how you're doing. And then the final one there is vehicle status. This is where a lot of your warnings will come up and where you can also select different profiles for the car. Now see this little hand here? That is for the gesture control. Watch this. So you can sit here all day moving the screen around. It is kind of a pointless feature, but it does it anyway. In terms of traffic, it will tell you any traffic warnings around the area. That integrates also with the satellite navigation system, so it can show you which spots have traffic. And if there is heavy traffic, it will route you around that traffic. Another 2 things I'm going to show you here. The images menu. You can load images into the car or also on an SD card. I don't really know why you'd want images here, but you have the ability to do that. And then there's the air conditioning menu as well. This shows you what's happening around the cabin in terms of temperatures. I like that because of the 3-zone layout. You can see what's happening around the car. But you can also lock the rear so the kids can't fiddle with those things if you don't want them to. But I do like this feature, Air Care. So when you activate this, what it does is it uses the pollen filter in the car to remove dust and particles and give you kind of like a fresher environment within the car. It is no bio-defense mode in a Tesla, but it is still an ability to get some fresh air into the car if you need to. Finally, let's talk Digital Cockpit. It's a 10.25-inch screen that sits in front of the driver. This has a number of different configuration options, so I'll show you the main core functions and I'll step you through each of the menus. All of your controls for the screen are on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. So this is what it looks like if you just have it in its default setup. You have revolutions on the left with the gear the car's in, and then the speed on the right with a digital speed readout. One push of the view button allows you to go full map screen, and then it pushes the speed and the gear on the right and the left respectively. We can then switch through the different context menus. So this is another display you can have with the map in the center. If we go back to our default, I'll run you through the different menus you can have on show. So audio shows you whichever audio menu you have, whether you're on Bluetooth, radio, or CD player. And then if you skip through, you have telephones. This is where you can make phone calls through the car's display without having to take your eyes off the road. Vehicle status, this is where all of the car's warnings appear. So you can see here that we have a passenger door open at the moment. Driving data is all of our fuel consumption data and trip computer information. You can then jump through and even get a second speed display on here. You can never be too safe in Australia with all the speed cameras. And then you have other information such as oil temperature, your trip computer, current consumption, and then an overview, which is just everything we've just seen. Over on the assist systems, this shows you how far you are from the car in front, and it allows you to adjust the distance control for your radar cruise control. Shows you visually what that looks like. And then using the button on the steering wheel here, you can range between the different levels of sensitivity. Finally, you can also enable and disable the rest of the safety controls. So lane assist can go on and off just with a press of that button, and then you can change whether the cruise control is radar cruise or just a speed limiter. And then finally, you can turn rear traffic alert and the rest of your safety systems on and off using all the toggles on the right. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, I'd love it if you could press the like button, also press subscribe and the bell icon, which will notify you each time we publish a new review. Also check out the rest of the videos on our channel. You can see some detailed car reviews and even more infotainment reviews.